Hello everybody, FAI here, or I here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks video. And in today's Accureye Talks video, I thought we'd talk about every single weapon and at least my opinion on how to use them, as well as the pair-ups to go with each weapon. Now, the reason I started going over this is because I figured that not a lot of people know how to use every weapon, and some players are just not very good at learning how to use each weapon. They just kind of pick up a weapon and go, okay, I'm going to use this weapon, even though they may not have full knowledge on how to use it. So in this series, I decided that we should go over every single weapon in the game. Now, we're not talking about arc stars, grenades, or thermites or anything like that. We're just talking about the weapons in general, including the golden weapons, which are extremely difficult to find. Now, first of all, we're going to be starting with snipers, as in my opinion, snipers are probably the easiest to adapt to weapon, and they're probably the longest or the easiest to use overall weapons. So, yeah. And I'll talk about the pairings and stuff for each weapon, just so that you can have at least somewhat of a weapon that you can pair it up with. Now, all my pairings will probably be repeated over time, because we have a lot of main weapons, but not a lot of sidearm weapons. And in my personal opinion, I think you should own a sidearm weapon and a main weapon. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with one of the snipers, which, of course, today is the triple take. As I feel, the triple take is one of the easiest snipers to learn and use overall, compared to pretty much every other sniper, either the Sentinel, the charge rifle, or, of course, the longbow. But you have all those other snipers alongside you. We're also going to be talking about slightly some loadouts and stuff that you can, get better with. But in general, the pair-up weapon that I would pair this gun up with is, of course, an Alternator. An Alternator is my pair-up of choice. But another pair-up of choice, of course, would be the R99 or the RE45. Those are two weapons that you can sidearm with if you really are going to use the the triple take. But today, we're going to be focusing mainly on the Alternator and the triple take, so that you can, overall just get better at the game and, hopefully learn how to actually utilize these weapons in their respective rights. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? The triple take is a sniper, as you all know, and its effective range is medium to long range. So, effectively, you're going to be a medium to long range player. Now, don't worry, the sniper does have a good short range ability, and it is something that you could use at short range. But as you can see, with the triple take, it has one of the most open iron sights that you could use, and you, of course, can fire it without having any actual randomness of where the bullets are going. But overall, as you can see, it's an effective long-range weapon from almost indefinite range to a degree. I would say to a degree, you could almost go indefinite range with the sniper, and it doesn't really lose its its overall charge or power. It just doesn't become as effective as it is on medium range, because at medium range you can, have all three shots potentially hit the opponent, thus making it even stronger. But, as you can see, you can also hip fire it, as it is a hip fireable weapon without losing much of its range. And if it gets too close, then, obviously, it can be used as a hip fire weapon. It's just very slow in its fire rate. But, overall, moving on, let's go ahead and talk about scopes, as scopes are another thing that can make all the difference in your weapon. And, talking about scopes and sights, you can go for any sight you want. My effective stock sights would be like the sniper sights at 6 times, or 4 to 8 times, or even to 10 times if you can manage to get it off somebody. Or you can get 3 times and or 2 times 4, depending on how you're going to effectively play your sniper. But just remember that sight just makes it easier to not only see where your enemy is, but also get a better idea and better vision especially at farther distance where your enemies are, as you'll see me demonstrating here with the triple take. So, obviously snipers are effective at medium to long range. They're probably the best at medium to long range. And, I would effectively utilize, the scopes that you could. Obviously, here's a one-time scope. It's kind of the same as the HCOG, except the hollow is circular compared to the square. Same with this 1x2, it's just going to give you a 1x2 zoom. Again, effective for medium to long range, depending. 3x is one of my preferred scopes if I'm going to use anything at range. If I'm going to use anything at range, the 3x is going to be my preferred scope because of its effective zoom. And because it is a 3x zoom, it does make it a very effective sniper to use, or scope to use at range. So, at the end of the day, you gotta adapt to however you think, to whatever you think is going to be effective, and whatever you think will make your gameplay overall just, I guess, that much better. But with that having been said, let's talk about the stocks and stuff. Stocks, of course, are going to effectively make your gun have not only faster mobility or faster aim, but also faster, faster, of course, faster, of course, aim overall. And sorry about the sticky key popping up there. You're going to see the sticky key maybe pop up one more time or twice. But, yeah, stocks are going to effectively reduce the recoil and effectively help stabilize your movement and, also help you with keeping somewhat mobile while you're holding that particular weapon. Because, again, your mobility is not going to be super high with a sniper. In fact, you're going to probably have super slow or low mobility, which is why a sniper probably effectively is never very good in the effective range of short battles. But, the choke will allow you to have the, if you're playing with the triple take, the choke will allow you to have a much more shorter spread of fire with the cone. And, of course, your extended sniper mag, whatever type you get, will just give you more balance in the chamber to fire before you have to reload. But with that having been said, I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about the the effective loadout or the stuff for the triple take. The most effective loadout, if you're looking to use the triple take at all, is a level 1 standard stock, a level 1 extended mag, a sniper scope of any type if you're going to be playing long range, and of course and that's it. You could get a sniper scope of any side. My preferred would be the 4x8, but you could get 6x if you're playing long range. If you're playing short range, I would suggest a 3x or a 2x4. But yeah, with that having been said, let's go ahead and talk about the Alternator, shall we? Okay, then, here we are, continuing with the Alternator. Now, I pair up the Alternator because the Alternator is one of the easier to control, sidearm or SMG weapons that you can. You can stock it up any way you want. Just remember, the stock allows you to control the recoil as well as get a little more mobility. The scope, of course, is the sights that you can get. I would suggest the digital if you can find it. But, yeah. But you have the 2x also for long range. The extended mag, I would suggest level 1 because it's going to give you a broader amount of ammo. And, of course, the barrel stabilizer reduces the recoil. Even though the recoil on the Alternator is pretty unsubstantial, as you can basically control the gun without having much recoil needed or necessary to really, be bad at the gun. Of course, as you can see, at range, it's pretty decent. It doesn't have a recoil at all. You can pretty much control the gun with ease, if you would. And, you can follow this gun without having it, spread everywhere. If you know how to control your recoil, then it'll be pretty decent. And you can still burst fire it in short bursts to make it, a much more effective long range weapon. So, I mean, in general, this is not a bad weapon for anyone to learn. And I think that this is probably one of the more decent SMGs that you can get in the game, especially if you're looking to be versatile and, have ease of use, for say. Because, again, like I said, at distance, you can kind of short fire it, and it'll be pretty effective. And you can also burst full auto it, and it'll still be pretty effective. Because, again, there's no recoil really at all in this gun. This gun pretty much has no recoil at all, thus making it a very, very decent gun alongside the triple take. But, I mean, with that having been said, that's pretty much all you need to know about the Alternator. It's a very, very powerful SMG, very, very easy to use SMG, and it's a very good SMG for beginners to learn. But with that being said, let me show you some in-game footage, and we'll go from there. Alright then, so it took me a while to actually get a game where I could actually get the triple take. So, this game is not my best footage of using the triple take, but it is some footage of me using the triple take nonetheless, and the Alternator. So, yeah, just remember that, in general, this gun is very good. As you probably have already noticed, I got 3 eliminations on this game because of the Alternator mostly. There was 1 elimination that happened because of the Hemlock, but the other 2 eliminations were because of the Alternator. And like I said, it's because the Alternator is fairly easy to control. It doesn't have a lot of recoil, and in general, it's a beginner-friendly weapon. If you're learning a weapon, especially if you have to learn how to control recoil and stuff, I would highly suggest a gun that doesn't have much recoil control, or doesn't need much recoil control, because, again, you gotta learn how to fire each weapon. I mean, every weapon has their strengths and weaknesses, and I'm never gonna lie about that. You gotta learn to control each weapon and learn how to utilize every weapon to their advantage. I know here I went a little far away from my team, but that's because I wanted to try and grab the sniper stock and stuff that I could, but, as it is, my team just needed me to catch back up, so I decided to catch back up. But anyway, yeah. Remember that the Alternator is a very user-friendly weapon, especially for beginners. It's an easy weapon to use. It's not going to require much recoil control. And, I mean, it's, like I said, it's beginner-friendly. This will make you a effectively good player overall. Especially if you are just beginning. Same with the triple take. The triple take doesn't require you to be in battle that much, or even just that much into a fight. You can basically, end up being pretty decent at the game with just, effectively using a triple take Alternator. And, I mean, I know it's not the weapon that everyone is going to be using, but again, not everyone is going to be able to control each weapon. In fact, I will just tell you that at the end of the day, you got to learn how to control your weapons. You got to learn, how to fire them, how they work, and what makes them effective. Because if you don't know what makes them effective, then you're going to end up basically make it to where you are failing almost every time, and that's not good. And of course, that's never good. I mean, failing every time or doing that is just not good. It's not useful. It's not going to make you an effectively good player. So, but that's where this series comes into play. That's where this game, all the gameplay and stuff comes into fruition, is to help you become just a better overall player and a better, in general, game player. And, hopefully that this gameplay has helped you at least become a little better at the triple take and the Alternator. And like I said, going forward, this series is going to be talking about every weapon. You will see some weapons repeat, like the Alternator. You will see probably repeat itself a lot more, and a little bit, fairly often, because I feel that some sidearm weapons are just better to work with than others, and other sidearm weapons are better to work with than, those that you think. Effectively, like I said, it's up to you what sidearm weapon you want to pair with and what weapon works best for you. But in this particular series, like I said, I wanted to focus on the Alternator triple take, as I feel that the Alternator triple take is good pairing of two weapons, because again, they're both beginner weapons for say. The triple take is a very beginner friendly weapon, especially if you're not ready to get into heavy W keying fights. And of course, the Alternator is a great beginner weapon for just learning when someone gets too close into your bubble or safe space. So with that being said, hopefully this video has helped you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about the Alternator and the triple take. And if you do decide to pick these two weapons up, I hope you get better using them. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being part of this video. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because I know you want to know when my next video drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And yeah, with that being said, I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/FA_EYE or I am live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure. Wednesday and Saturday, I'm usually live for about 4 to 5 hours. Thursday, I'm usually live for about 2 to 3 hours. But I'm also live on Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday, I'm live for 2 to 3 hours. And yeah, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next one, everybody, this is FAI saying come join me at Twitch at www.twitch.tv/FA_EYE or I'm not sure if I said that before, but I might have. And yeah, until the next one, everybody, this is FAI, like I said, signing out and saying farewell, everyone.